Hello everyone and welcome to Termas de Rio Hondo for coverage of the Argentina Grand Prix. A lot of action then happened at the season opener in Portimao, a few riders injured as well, but coming into round two, everybody is on tenterhooks for what could be a really fascinating race. Added to that, wet weather. It's been raining all day here as well. Let's take a look back then and sync up for coverage of Moto3. Moto3 is going to get underway then in wet conditions. Here's how they line up on the starting grid. Arul Sasaki on pole position, Dennis Onchu in second, Diego Monrella starts in third. Ivan Otolo is fourth with Juan Masia and then Tsuzuki Sasaki. Alonso Ogden and Minio in 7, 8, 9. 10th Holgado, Toba is 11th, Bertolelli is 12th. 13th on the starting grid then as well coming into proceedings. That will be Jose Antonio Ruda, then Stefano Nepa 14th, Artegas 15th, Munoz 16th, Vija is in 17th, Yakanama 18th, Rossi 19th, Asman 20th, Faradoli is in 21st, Salvador 22nd, Agis 23rd, Fanati 24th, 25th on the grid for Anazalina as well. Then we get Frizzo and Ana Carissa at the back of the field. Joshua Whiteley 28th on the grid. Riders in to Moto3. The red flag is lifted on the circuit. The green flag will be selected and away we go on the formation lap. The first time the riders are going to have the opportunity to see the circuit. They've done a few sighting laps through the pit lane, but this race, which is going to be 18 laps ahead of us, they are going to be into the unknown. Nobody has any clue what is going to happen, and it is absolutely terrifying. Let's get the thoughts of Gavin Emmett and Neil Hodson on the BT14.
Super hard to call. I've been looking down. I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to find a wild card in there, and I've got all the way down to 24th place. Not much of a wild card. It's Romano Fenati. Well, obviously, back in Moto3 this year, and has been struggling, but I tell you what, pretty good in these conditions, as we know.
What makes you go with the 13-time Grand Prix winner, Romano Fenati?
Oh, the wild card.
He does start alongside Mario Aggi, and maybe it might be one of those where two fast riders, because it's almost like you don't want to lead in a race like this because you get a feel from other people in front of you, don't you?
It sounds so strange, that, but it's very true. You almost like somebody else to lead and almost find the slippier parts of the track, take a little bit more of the risk, and you can sit back and almost learn from their mistakes. So, and as we know in Moto3, qualifying is not quite as important as it is in MotoGP. So you never know. Someone like Fenati could come through from the 8th row.
It is such a...
Cheers, guys. Well, the track looks absolutely sodden out there as well. It was the same an hour ago for MotoGP, and the climatic conditions haven't changed that much either. Track temperature now at 20 degrees, air temperature 18 degrees, 59% humidity. There's no wind speed either. That's why it hasn't changed. There's still water up in the upper atmosphere, and it's blowing itself over the circuit as well. So Moto3 will be in the wet. Let's hope we don't get any more rainfall and they don't have to stop the race. Right now, the track conditions out on the circuit, it's cloudy as well. There is no sign of any more water for the next 15 minutes. So this race usually takes half an hour. I think you know where we're going with it, don't you? As they come up onto the starting grid then as well. Your easy sync-up time, by the way, as I mentioned just before, that was the music to sync up to, the little ping. That's going to be our sync to watch along after Portimao was a bit of a mess where we had to sync up with the lights going out. We've made it easier for everybody now. Whole race, no edits in the commentary. Red light gets taken away. All looking to the front then. Sasaki on pole, Onchu alongside him, the lights are on, away we go in Argentina. Great start from the middle of the row as well from Onchu, but he's going to get bogged down in the the second phase of the start. Ortola and Monrella get up on the inside line. Sasaki leads into turn number 1, but goes out too wide, and that's going to allow Monrella and Ortola to come back through into second and first position. So everyone gets through just about cleanly. No one's gone down on the deck so far. Now we move over to from a right-hand turn 1 to a left-hand hairpin turn 2, back then to a quick right for turn number 3, and then Hurtle back down again, the back straightaway towards turn number 4. Few riders in the mid-pack having a change, but it's Monrella leading. Ortella on tune at the moment, and on the inside there comes Suzuki. Suzuki's having a run on the inside line down towards turn number 4. Can he get the lead away? No. Ortella on the inside, and coming out of nowhere, Dennis Onchi back on the inside line. Late on the brakes comes the 24 again of Suzuki. He'll get ahead into third position. Going out wide goes Alonso as well. He comes back into the path of Ario Ortegas. Really close start in the mid-pack there. Lap 1 of 18 for Moto3. Round the long sweeper we go at turn 5. Down to the hairpin then at turn number 6. On the inside comes the 53 of Dennis Onchi to try and take the lead of the race. Goes out too much. He makes a massive error. Runs it out wide. Monrella will keep the lead. But fighting together, Onchu trying to keep in third position, but he's got the 48 right alongside him. It's going to force him wide. So deep, so far. Onchu nearly went flying as he came across the track, nearly whacked into the side of Ivan Ortola as well. Now back on the inside comes Suzuki. He's in a battle with Onchu. Onchu on the inside line. Don't forget, he couldn't take part last week in the Portuguese Grand Prix. Stalled on the line. Onchu's on the inside line. They're battling together. They're wiggling around. Diego Monrella's going to get pushed out. Suzuki's on the inside line. Monrella around the outside. Unbelievable stuff. Really unbelievable stuff as I try and take a breath from Moto3. They are so side by side. Across the line we go then, down the hill towards turn number 1 once again. That was just the opening lap. There is 17 more to go. And again, throwing it in, Suzuki takes second position as Monrella and Ortola go wide. Out the inside comes Sasaki as well. Dennis Onchu leads the race. He's taken it then on the inside. Now again, Ortola to third, Monrella down to fourth position. Mid-pack changing as well with Masia and Sasaki swapping over positions, just jumping on the inside line. Really smooth start. Really clean start. We were all expecting the Moto3 riders to struggle and crash out. Right now it's just a normal Moto3 race. They are calm and consistent runners. Suzuki's on the inside line, down in towards turn number 4. He's going to try and get ahead of Onchu in the race, and it's not going to work out. And up the track there, Monrella has nearly had a high side. He's dropped down now, so Monrella drops to 9th position from 3rd in the pack. He's at Ortola, Sasaki, Masia, Hologado, Onchu, Minio, and Ogden through. Scott Ogden up into 8th position. That is no lie. What a run from Scott Ogden at the moment in this race, up into 8th position. Fabulous run as things stand then. 17 to go, and now Monrella trying to cut back on the inside line of Alamina as well. As they come back through, Monrella trying to have the move. More Davids coming in the field than we know what to do with in Moto3 as they continue back through. Just keeping on the accelerator ever so slightly. As we cut back at the front, you can hear Gavin and Neil in the background because there's no track noise at the moment. 3 wide coming into turn 11. On the inside goes David Asmano as well. And gets ahead of Andre Minio and Javier Artegas as well. We're not hearing any noise at the moment. Now we get the track noise as they come across the line. I don't know what was happening there. Onchu with a 1:57.716 then. He has the fastest lap of the race. He's pulled out 6/10 already to Suzuki, but Masia, the 2 Leopold Racing guys, are way in second and third as well. So they are looking fantastic at the moment. As Armana and Ogden swapping over positions now as well at the back half of the track. 16 laps to go. It's lap 3 of 18. As you can see on your timing towers. And is there going to be any more little moves? Artegas getting ahead as well. So they've slipped up the inside line. So they're all trying to have more action and more drama. Slipping. So they've really changed the positions and really changed the situations. Just been told that IndyCar has changed as well their start time, so it's going to be on slightly early due to inclement weather, which is great news for us because it might be a red flag, which means we get to see MotoGP and come back to Texas as well for that race. So at the inside, the 92 of Almirola that's Almanassa as well. Almanassa making a move on Artegas. Ogden's coming in to try and have a little bit of a battle between them. Field's starting to get spread out now, not what we expected in a Moto3 wet race. Usually they all come back together again and link up. Not the case here today in Argentina. They're all trying to keep their racing together and keeping their runs together as well. And we've got a yellow flag in Sector 4. Onchu's crashed! Dennis Onchu has crashed out of the Argentine Grand Prix! The race leader has gone down in Sector 4, and that's Suzuki to the lead of the race. He's done it at turn 8. It's on the inside. He's kept the bike going. He's picked it up. So he'll go all the way to the back of the field. This is how he did it. Just turns in, and the rear snaps on him, and down he goes like a sack of spuds. Unbelievable. He's down at 10, 11. Yep, exactly where it was. Wow. So, it's Suzuki leading then this race by 1.1 second to Masia as they just continue to switch around and try and find the grip between them. Suzuki, 1.1 second advantage. Masia, Sasaki, Hologado, Almanac as well up into 5th position. Artegas, Ortella, Ogden, still in 8th position, looking strong. Let's catch up with BT Sports.
Which makes it even more confusing. But like that first lap, if you watch that first lap back, it was bizarre. Like, it was dangerous, actually, but yeah, the inevitable happened in the end. He pushed too far, and the problem in these conditions, especially with these little tyres, the Moto3 bikes are the smallest of small contact patches. They're stiff little motorcycles. They don't give you a lot of feedback, especially from the front. So it's hard to find that limit, and it's easy to go across it.
So, after that crash with Dennis Onchu, it's now an experienced man at the front, Tatsuki Suzuki from Jaume Masia, Leopard 1 and 2. They were working, they weren't happy with the speeds of their bikes. They've been working, trying to sort out, a little bit of the humps on their Alpine Stars leathers to try and get things sorted, because they feel like, obviously, the Leopard's always been the strongest package out there. It's looking good in the wet this morning. So it's Leopard 1 and 2, then Ayumu Sasaki in 3rd. Brilliant from Almansa. Excellent from him in 4th spot. And then it's Daniel Gardo in 5th place now. Artigas in 6th. And Scott Ogden is right there in 7th. And Michael Laverty is gripping the sides of his chair. There's finger marks in it already.
Yeah, I mean...
Not surprised, really. Wouldn't there be for you as well? As more moves getting put out on the circuit as well. Salvador has passed Kaito Toba. So they really are taking this one to the absolute limit as well. 156.840. Up the inside comes the 92 of David Asmina and takes 2nd position. So the CF Moto Racing Pure Set Race GP bike takes the lead. David Almanza is in 2nd position, right behind Suzuki. So they continue to fly through. 14 laps to go. We're on lap 5 now at Termas de Rio Hondo in Argentina. And Almansa is closing on Suzuki as well. You don't have to say his name during the broadcast as well as it comes through. Almansa closing down the back straight away. Now here comes again. Sasaki's going to look for an in-move on the inside line. Artega's going to take it too. And Artega's trying to take 3rd position. Does so. Javier Artegas up into 3rd place, down at turn 4. A superb move on the inside. Last of the late breakers just slips up the inside, says thank you very much. And job is a good one. And the 71 also slipping through. That is Masia passing Hologado, Ogden passing Otola, Alonso passing Bertolelli, and Sasaki passing Masia. But now it's switching around again as here comes the 43 of Artegas looking on the inside of Almanza. Down at 10-11. Not going to work out there, I'm afraid. You're going to have to find another place to try and pass and overtake Cap. You shall not pass in this segment of the track as well. The Gandalf sticks her out to try and push everybody. Suzuki has pulled out a 1.7 second lead. As up the inside comes Sasaki, trying to take the 43 as well of Javier Artegas. He's just about going to do it as well. David Almanza stays in 2nd place. Sasaki then up into 3rd position. brilliant start so far we are seeing here today in the Moto3 category. We thought there might be a little bit more drama, we thought there might be some controversy. None of that is turning out today. 1.903 seconds the difference, Suzuki to Sasaki. That is the confusing part to try and commentate on as well. The fact that it just keeps on changing and keeps on adapting as they swap around once more. And down the back straight we go out of turn 3 down towards turn number 4. Hear the engine sing on the Honda as well, the Husqvarna, the CFT motorbikes, the Hondas, the KTMs as well, the gas bikes, all in the background just singing together as well. Up the inside goes the 92, but the 43's going to cut back as Sasaki's getting forced out. Sasaki forces out David Almanza, and Artegas goes back through on the inside line. So that's dropped Almanza into 4th position. Sasaki forcing Almanza off. He might get a little bit of a penalty for that. Drop of a position is likely. We know they've done that before across all classes. Hey, it's some riders thinking that it's time for ski season to go downhill into turn 6 and without a motorcycle. It's Surfing Bird as they come through. Messi up to 4th. Almanza in down to 5th position. Holgado is going to be right there as well as timing's glitching and out due to the weather conditions as well. Glitching on the servers. Still so much to try and see, so much to try and piece together as they exit out now. Into the last sector, 11 and 12, again for the 6th time, about to start lap 7 on the inside. That's Artegas nearly tacking the back as well of Almanza, who stays ahead. And these two are teammates at CF Moto Racing. So these two are teammates, and they are battling together over 4th and 5th positions. And Artegas has passed Almanza coming out of turn number 1. They're side by side. And he's done it right round the outside. Suzuki for Leopard Racing, 1:56.774. The race lap record here for Moto3 is a 1:48.834 set last year by Andrea Minio on the Honda. Not going to get beaten there, I believe, in these wet conditions. In fact, it'll be a miracle if anybody can beat any sort of record stay. This wet weather looks to stay pretty much consistent. There's a lot of standing water as well on the back straight coming into turn number 4 as well here. So they've still got to find some time. They've still got to find some way of keeping the action together and mainly just keeping it active. That's also a factor as well as they continue to ride through here for Moto3. 12 laps to go. On the inside as well, the 92 trying to go. That's Almanza once again, looking at the back of his teammate of Artegas. Daniel Holgado right behind them with Scott Ogden. Scott Ogden up into 7th position for Vision Track Racing. It's an absolutely superb weekend for them so far. Going to pick up some very valuable World Championship points. Fingers crossed, I haven't just cursed them as well, as Michael Laverty would be coming for me as well after this. The intervals at the moment, Suzuki's got 2.596 seconds to Sasaki on the circuit, so there's still a lot of time to be found as well with 12 to go across the line. Lap 8 begins of 18 as they continue to charge down. Let's have a word with BT.
Fastest lap of the race. Suzuki 3/10 quicker than Sasaki, who was 2/10 quicker than Mazia. Mazia has to be careful here that Sasaki doesn't get away, because once you break that toe and you've got riders around you in a wet weather race, hard to claw it back.
It really is, because you end up in that situation where once you start battling, if you pass each other 1 or 2 times in a lap, it's going to cost you, you're going to lose half a second even more, and hence that's what we've witnessed here with Suzuki. Doesn't look fast, doesn't look like he's taking any risks, just nice and smooth. I mean, it's the way he rides anyway, carries a lot of corner speed, always has done. Not a really late breaker, isn't Suzuki, which actually works really well for these conditions.
Completely different to what we saw from Onchu when he was out front. Every corner was running deep, was running wide, and looking like he wanted to win this race by 50 seconds.
Ooh, that was tight.
Almanza through at the end of the back straight in front of his teammates. Xavi Artigas, we come through the little kink there, through into turn 6.
Flat out on one of these bikes, turn 6. I'm not too sure in these conditions if it's flat out, but I know in the dry it is.
And then down into turn 7. A weird corner, this one, isn't it? It's tight, and then opens up beautifully on exit.
Opens up so well, does that corner, especially on the big bikes, MotoGP bikes. What we're looking at here.
This is just the braking on the back straight. I think it's just the one where he comes through on Sasaki, and Sasaki thinks,
yeah,
right,
and they change together.
Yeah.
This is what we can do.
And that's Sasaki forcing Almanza off the circuit, as well as we mentioned earlier on in the race. That little nerf on the inside for Sasaki is a big, big no-no. I'm surprised they haven't done anything about it to change over the system there. But either way, 11 laps to go at the Moto3 race as well. Many people always ask me, why don't you do these live, the Moto3 and Moto2? Well, IndyCar's just moved up its start time. The Moto2 race can't be live because they're on at the same time. That gets pre-recorded and I commentate on it later on. That's the way the system goes. The Moto2, by the way, which you'll see straight after this Moto3 programme, is going to look a bit different on the timing screens. We'll have all the timing screens open instead. I'll be in the top corner there instead of TweetDeck, and we'll have the graphics down there for the weather. So it will look a bit different for races that we can't record live when we have to do them again, because you'll have more access to the timing screen. If you like that option, though, let me know, and I'll happily change systems around and come in. But wait until the Moto2 and we'll talk about it once again. Right now, Suzuki leads, though, by 2.7 seconds. In these mixed conditions, he's having a real push through. Sasaki goes a little bit wide, and Almanza slips up the inside and gets ahead of Javier Artigas as well. So they are continuing to push. Sasaki has been told to drop one position. So that's because Almanza's up to third, and Sasaki's going to have to give Almanza the place back because he barged him out the way down at this segment of the track a few laps ago. So Sasaki has been told to drop one position. We thought so. So it was coming. There's the official confirmation coming up on the screen as well. Really nice stuff coming through. Really nice atmosphere here. And it's sort of anticipation and dread, I think, as well, with the wet weather, and they've got to find the right line out there. As the 92 slips up the inside, so Almanza retakes Sasaki and Suzuki. Sasaki, so he passes Masia, and then Sasaki lets him through, so up to second position as well. So this is looking very mighty at the moment as they swing back around. What's that old phrase? Swing low, sweet chariots. It seems to be the system at the moment as they go side by side. Almanza right round the outside. And taking the position goes Sasaki with a cutback manoeuvre. Nope, Almanza's got the position shut into turn number 3. And I thought they might have something. Oh, Altola's crashed out. Altola has crashed out. So he's dropped down the order. Don't know where. We haven't got a yellow flag just yet on the timing monitors, but we'll put one out as Sasaki dives up the inside of Almanza. And Altola's rejoined the race. So the yellow flag is only there briefly. As well as they all come into the braking zone for turn 4, completely out of whack and out of kilter. They are everywhere. Absolutely everywhere at the moment. Last year's IndyCar race was 2 hours and 9 minutes as well. I go up to 45 for an hour, so I come back I literally see the first 45 minutes and come back at the end of the race. That's how crazy it is, unless there's lightning or rain in the air and it puts out the red flags as well. Don't forget, there is a lightning clock as well, so we might have to come back for Texas in 2 parts if that's the case. Oh, and there is gravel being dropped everywhere on the track by the 48s as well of Aizan Otola. And I'm quite surprised that he hasn't got the black and orange flag for there at the moment, but there's a lot of gravel now. Big stones here in Argentina as well. That's on the racing line that many people aren't going to like as well, especially in these mixed conditions. Almanza up the inside then. That's Masia up the inside of Almanza. Oh, big crash! High side! Coming out of the last corner! And that's Sasaki! He's out of the race! The bike just flips on him mid-corner of the exit, flicks him over the top. He's immediately up and trying to pick the bike up, but Sasaki out of the race. Big accident there for Sasaki. Down at turn 13. And that's put Masia back up into second position and Almanza to third. That's how quick the race can change here in Moto3. So comes out, gets the oversteer, and the bike flips him over and he hits his head actually. So I'm quite lucky that, hey, he's actually got up and got to the bike, but because he's hit his head, he's rejoined the race, and we've got, oh, no, don't rejoin on the wet stuff. That's a bad, he's trying to get it going on the curve again. It's just going to go down. Once more, Scott Ogden down to 8th position. Big stuff then in this race as Sasaki drops to 27th place. We haven't actually lost a rider in this race so far in this Grand Prix. They're all still there. Almanza, out of shape, getting ahead of Masia. Brilliant little manoeuvre for second position. 4.332 seconds. Suzuki's escaped with at the front of the field. It's not even like it's a Moto3 race anymore. They're just absolutely dive-bombing in positions, changing left, right, centre. It's fantastic stuff. And we've got a yellow flag in sector 1. And I think Sasaki's crashed again. He has. As Bertelli passes passes Yakanama and Asman. And yeah, Sasaki's parked the bike at the exit of the pit lane. So, they don't usually like you doing that. He could have come into the pit lane, but didn't. So he's parked it at the end of pit lane, but against the barrier, not actually past pit lane in it, where they could wheel it back in. It's right on the start line. The yellow flag's been rescinded, so fingers crossed the bike doesn't get knocked over or crashed into anything like that. And hugs all round, I'm afraid, for Omuro Sasaki. He has retired from the race. His head is down as well. He's very emotional. He knows that he's thrown away big points in the World Championship after this round. So it's kind of unbelievable coming into it that we're having this. 7 laps to go. Let's have a word with BT.
There are 6.5 laps remaining, and I think it's 2 from 7 or 8 here.
Oh, the 16.
Who have a chance of the podium. Mino picking up positions. Mino now heading up into 5th spot. Back to Daniel Gardo.
Back to another rider, Gav, who's got absolutely nothing to lose. Mino.
Yep, he and Almanza in as replacements.
Mino's going to get swamped and does so.
David Munoz getting a feel for this race now. When he starts getting in the mix, well, it will blow the results wide open. Masia in 2nd place. In 3rd spot now is Almanza again from Artigas, and then it's David Munoz who has come through. Moreira also coming with him.
Yeah, Munoz from 16th on the grid. I genuinely don't think Munoz even tries in qualifying. Has he ever been any higher than the 4th row of the
Jose
grid?
Boe, his team boss, said earlier this weekend, yeah, it takes him a day and a half to wake up, really. To be honest, he's that kind of character.
Artigas versus Almanza as well, and Artigas passing him on the inside line down into the back half of the track. Tatsuki Suzuki is in a different country. He's not in Argentina, he's in Chile almost. It's unbelievable the amount of difference he's got on the acceleration here. Pushing so hard, 4.2 seconds ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if Sasaki went to the medical centre for a little checkup there. He did have a high side and land on his head. Just got a crash helmet on, but still, I would head over to the medical centre and just get yourself thoroughly checked out. 6 laps to go then in the Moto3 race here in Argentina. Lap 13 of 18. And is anyone going to make any late position changes, or are they all going to wait just to see what's going to happen? Oh, big twitch! Big, huge twitch coming as well from the 44, David Munoz as well in the mid part of the track. Keeps on for 3rd position. Javier Artigas, Diego Monreal passes David Almanza as well for 5th position. Out of the long sweeping turn 3 and down the back straight towards turn number 4 here in Argentina at Termas de Rio Hondo. They're all going over to the wet side of the track. Suzuki's comfortable in the braking zone, but everyone darting to try and get water. So I think we might go to slicks, you know, for the Moto2 race. I don't think we'll be in any way, shape or form using dry tyres. Using wet tyres, because there's hardly any water left on the track. It'll be... it's spanning sector 2 and 3 still, actually. I thought it's very... Sector 1's dry. Sector 2 is very damp. So we will probably still use the wets for Moto2. Ignore what I'm saying. As they come through. they're going to continue pushing as much as they can as Yakanama passes Toba, and Salvador has been told to drop one position. So where is, and Toba's past Yakanama. Where is Salvador in 38 then as well? I'm trying to find him on the timing screen. Hologado will lead the championship, by the way, by 1 point to Munoz, 34 to 33. Masia will be on 31, 3 points back. Suzuki will jump up to 27, so 7 points back. 7 points separating the top four. It's fantastic. Diego Monrella on the inside of David Munoz and makes the move coming into the last corner as well. So, 5 laps to go here. Yakanama passes Toba. Can't find where Salvador is on that board, if it's even a correct graphic. I mean, there he is, David Salvador 12th. Overtake the only yellow flags, drop of 1 grid position. That's going to be had to let through by Ryusu Yakanama as well. Will get the position back shortly as well. Into the braking zone they come. And we've got a yellow flag in the first sector. Why is that? It's Juan Masia! Juan Masia has crashed out from 2nd position in the Moto3 race. He is out with 5 laps to go. Oh, and Aji's crashed too. The 64's crashed. Ryder okay though. So 2 accidents already as they come into the braking zone for turn number 4, finding the slipstream. Yeah, Mario Aji has crashed out too in the 64. So everyone's going down at the moment in this Moto3. 6.1, yeah, there he is walking away. That's great to see that Aji's okay. So, Suzuki's got 6.1 seconds to Artegas, but that's Artegas, Munoz, Almanza, Mortella, Holocado, Mino, all there. Scott Ogden still in the mix. Yellow flag rescinded with 5 to go. BT.
Looks like that, and now he's going to go over the line. He's going to get +6. Basically, you're 6 seconds in front. At that point, you look, there's 4 laps to go. Honestly, at that point, mentally, you've won it. You've just got to stay focused, not go too slow.
But that's the thing I was going to say. Is there a danger of rolling off a little bit too much in terms of confidence or in terms of heating your tyres? I know this.
Munoz trying to go on the inside. Artegas is down! Oh, we've got 2 down! Oh, Munoz and Artegas have crashed out on the Moto3 race in the last corner, and they just dropped it. Yellow flags out. Monrella to 2nd, Almanza 3rd, Hologado 4th, and now it just keeps on changing this race. Munoz has rejoined, and Artegas has rejoined. They've both rejoined the race after crashing. Artegas and Munoz. And there's a bit of sunshine here at Termas Waduria Hondo. Yellow flag has been rescinded. We are green as Munoz comes across the line. Yellow flag's back out now as well, actually. So there's something they didn't quite like the look of down there in Sector 4, the last corner, turn 11, where they made the error. I think it's Artegas. I don't think he's moved off the racing line yet. The bike, yellow flag's been received, and now it's all abreast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 riders side by side, almost coming into turn 4. And let's take a look at it once again. And this is Artegas and Munoz.
Let's have a look at it. I need to watch it again.
Synchronised crashing.
In sympathy.
It's absolute, total 2 separate incidents. Obviously, riders on the absolute limit. It's a long corner. We saw Sasaki high side out of it. Yeah, it is a tricky part of the track.
He has rejoined behind Josh Watley, who's up to 17th place now. He's had Romano Canati go past him, but in 17th. A really good ride from Watley.
And some class riders behind Josh Watley, so a real confidence booster for him.
Scott Ogden got through on Mino very briefly there, and Mino showing his vast experience to come back at him. So,
yeah,
this is the battle still for 2nd place.
And it's not giving...
Migno's nothing to lose, so if he crashes out, he doesn't care about any championship points or anything. Migno's the most dangerous man in that group.
And look at Monrella, looking very feisty indeed. He's going to take 2nd position across the line, so Diego Monrella 2nd, and it's David Almanza in 3rd position. Then here comes Daniel Hologado on the inside as well, and Andrea Mino making a move as well. Mino passing Hologado into 4th position. A lovely little sweet move, just jumping through into the last 2 corners. Masia back out there as well. So many riders out of this race. Masiya, Algi and Sasaki. And that was Masiya crashing out at turn 2, bottom of the hill, unfortunately. Salvador in 10th position, closing in. Suzuki leads the race. Almanza, Monrella, Holgado, Minio, Ogden, Rossi, Nepa, Artegas, Salvador, Toba, Yakanama, Asman in there too, all starting to have their runs and starting to have their attitudes almost as Diego Monrella up into second position. David Almanza fighting back as well for third position. Then we got the battle between Holgado, Minio and Ogden coming in as well. Ogden in 6th position at the moment. This is a great result coming for Vision Track Racing. If they can just take a deep breath.
Riding a really sensible race. Just keep being sensible at the back of that group. 6th place would be by far his best result. The Doncaster lad, as he comes through in behind Holgado. Minho up to 4th. That is Diogo Moreira for Brazil here across the border. And while those two countries, Brazil and Argentina, might not enjoy the best of relationships sometimes, he's doing it for South America today out there. And there will be a lot of Brazilian fans who've come down here. We've met a few over the years.
I'm guessing it's a while since this man's won. Is it, Gav? We know he's won races in his career. Look, it's tight into there. It's so difficult. Oh! Sorry.
It was the COVID year of in Jerez, if you remember, 2020, when he won at the Andalusia Grand Prix last.
Yes, it was. That's the last time Suzuki won a Moto3 World Championship event with 2 laps to go, and Almanza takes second position. Minio fighting his way through on Diego Monrella. Eat that, he says, and throws it up the inside. Now he's going to have a go at Almanza 2 into turn 3. Backed out of it, though. Minio trying to come back in there to defend, and here comes Monrella. So a three-way scrap for second place here in Argentina. That's more like it, even though Suzuki once again has done a Suzuki thing and has dominated this race when he's out front. 7.4 seconds ahead. This isn't a Moto3 race. He's racing Moto2 bikes out there. Unbelievable. Grip and acceleration he's got as up the inside comes Minio, but he's gone too deep. Almanza gets the cutback on the inside line and gets on the accelerator once again on the cutback. Fantastic couple of corners in Moto3, and they know what to do. They know how far they can push this without their bikes going down, and they are going to push it as long and as hard as they possibly can. On the inside comes Minio, very late on the brakes as well. And I thought Almanza was going to try and get the cutback. He's thinking about it coming through. Monrella there coming back on the inside line. Well, this is just changing time after time. It's constant changing, constant switching around with this race as well. No one knows exactly what is going to happen next. 6.8 seconds Suzuki has to Minio at the moment, so these lot are slowly catching up to the front, but it's going to be too late because we're going to start the last lap here of Argentina. 2.9 miles to go, so just another 3 miles across the line before Suzuki is victorious once again. The 24 rider as well, age 25, from Japan. It's going to be his 3rd ever win in Moto3. Minio down into 3rd position. Almanza back up into 2nd. Ogden's getting in the fight. Scott Ogden is in this as well in the 19 for Great Britain. He might get a podium. He saved the tyres right into the last lap. Scott is right on it, and Michael Laverty is sitting so far forward in his commentary chair as well. It's unbelievable. Down the long straight, and a turn 3 on the run to turn 4. This is the best opportunity. Here comes Almanza to try and get past Minio. They've swapped positions again in the braking zone. They're all together in the tow. 6 seconds up the road. That's where everyone is. And here we go. Scott Ogden's going to go for it on the inside line. Late on the brakes. Oh, he nearly drops it. Oh, he has dropped it. And he's taken out the 92. He's wiped out David Almanza. Scott Ogden wipes out Almanza on the last lap of the race. He'll get a penalty for that. He's still in 5th. He came in too hot, and Almanza didn't deserve that. 3-way fight, though, for 2nd position in the Moto3 race. Monrella, Minio and Rossi battling it out now as well. Ogden's going to have to settle for 5th and maybe a penalty. Yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. That's all. And Rossi nearly into the back of Minio as well. Monrella holding back. Almanza has rejoined the race. The yellow flags come in. Suzuki's going to be a 3-time winner in Moto3. He's dominated all 3 he's run so far. Who's going to complete the podium is the main question. As Almanza, that's Minio. Oh no! Down goes Riccardo Rossi in an absolutely huge accident. As Suzuki is a 3-time winner in Moto3 across the line. Monrella second, Minio third, Ogden fourth provisionally. But a huge accident. Barrel rolling in the gravel at the fastest point of the track. Coming into turn 11 for Riccardo Rossi. And we really hope he's okay. A nasty crash. It's involving Ogden and Almanza is under investigation currently. That was a big one. Is Rossi okay? Yes, he is. He's up and he's walking away gingerly, but he's up.
There's not a lot you can do in that situation if the front end locks, which it looked like it did. And as far as Rossi's crash, wow, that was a fast one, wasn't it? It was the initial grab of the brake. You've got a little bit of lean angle and the front just locked to
Talk us through it then, Neil.
Watch him here, number 54. He goes to the outside, but it's the initial touch of the brake and straight away. Watch the front.
Dips.
Look at that.
He must be
fast he's
carrying-
going there. That's 120 mile an hour at least.
So much pain.
And that is when it hits the gravel and your body, never mind the bike, your body starts to rotate and whacks into the side of things. It's not a very good run. Tatsuki Suzuki wins the Moto3 race here in Argentina. Diego Monrella is second. Andrea Minio goes into third. What a race we've seen in Argentina. Suzuki domination. He's a 3-time Moto3 World Championship winner. So the results from Moto3 see Suzuki win in very wet conditions, Monrella second, Minio rounding out the podium. Then we get Hologado as well from Ogden, Nepa, Toba, Artegas, Yakanama, Salvador the top 10, Asman, Bertolelli, Fanati, Alonso, Whiteley, Munoz, Almanza, Furizzo, Ortola, Faro, Casero, then we got Vigia as well, Ruda, Onchu, and then out of the race was Rossi, Masia, Arji and Sasaki. Hologado now leads the title by just 2 points to Monrella. Suzuki moves up to third as well. Munoz on 20, Nepa 19, 16 for Minio, Artegas, Toba, Ruda and Masia round out with Scott Ogden level on points. Sasaki in 12th also has 10. A very close field coming up in the Moto3 Championship. Round 3 then of the season will be at the Americas Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas as well. It's going to be another fascinating wait then in these amazing championships to see who will come out on top. We'll see you next time from us all here. Bye for now.